Hey guys, how's it going? It is greenhouse delivery day and I am beyond excited. I have absolutely no clue when these guys are coming to drop off the greenhouse. They are about 2.5 hours south of me at this point, and so hopefully they'll be here before I have to leave. I have to go run an errand at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm hoping that they're going to be here before that and that they're not going to be here like at 3 o'clock. That would be a bummer. I mean, either way, Brent's going to be here, and so if that happens, he's going to throw up the camera and get video footage of them delivering the greenhouse. But until then, I got a couple things I would like to do today. So one of the things that needs to happen today is, see these birch trees? There was a trio, now there's a duo, and I'm taking out one of them because one of them has died on me. So 2 of these were alive, now only one of them is alive. It's such a bummer. It died really, really rapidly. I don't know how that happened, but it did happen. So it is what it is. It's fine. I'm gonna have just the single birch tree there for the time being. I don't plan to take out the other birch tree right now. I do plan to eventually take it out though. Look at the hummingbird. It is going to come out though. It's just going to go where I've got the duo of birch trees in the very back. The ones that are back there are doing so well and they're absolutely beautiful. And originally I had planted a trio, but one of them did die. And so I do plan to move this one back there, but I'm not going to do it when we're above 100 degrees. It's not good for the plants to be moving like that. So I'm gonna let it do its thing, and once it drops all of its leaves this fall time, then I'll dig it up and we'll transplant it, and then I will put something else in its place. I would really, really, really like to put a dogwood there. I think dogwood trees are so beautiful. And then just have one statement tree there, something that's actually a bit more full. Birch trees are a bit more airy, and I realized that I did want something a little bit more full here, so that's kind of why I was gonna do the trio of them, because it would fill out the space a little bit more. And I planted them really close because I wanted them to be a multi-trunk. Right now they're really, really close. The bases of them are spread out far enough, but I had to tie them together at the top because we kept having windstorms and they kept literally falling over. So I had to tie them up improperly. Anyways, that's enough rambling. We're gonna take out that tree today. It's the first thing on my list to get out of here. The other thing on my list today is to cut back these blooms that shot up here on the Dusty Miller. I really want to keep this thing in check this year and not let any of these bloom spikes pop up. I typically don't mind them, but this year I want to go for just this like silver mound. I do like the silver mound. I also need to come in and deadhead this rose right here, so that way we can get another flush of blooms pretty quickly. And then in this stunning bed, I'm so obsessed with the alliums that are here. They're so pretty. Not what I need to deal with in this bed. I don't need to deal with it at all. Look at the bees are also all over them. Look at that guy covered in pollen. That lady, sorry. Anyways, the plan for this bed is I've got some Veronica down here, and so all of that needs to be cut back. That's a weed. Those are weeds. Whew. This bed has been neglected since we started work on the foundation. Anyways, these guys I got to get cut back, so we'll hack them in half so that way they can rebloom for me also. So just some minimal maintenance, nothing too major today. I mean, I guess taking out a tree is slightly large of a project, but it's a dead tree and it's small. It's fine. Anyways, the greenhouse should be delivered. I'm really, really hoping they can deliver it back here. I don't know. We will see if that's even a possibility. If it's not, then they're gonna have to deliver it in the driveway, which is such a bummer because it's gonna be a pain to have to move all the pieces individually back here. Hoping they can get it delivered into this spot. I did move all of the stone over this way, so we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. And then these are the birch trees that I have. I've got 2 of them right here. And so I've got a double birch tree trunk over in this bed. I can get over here. So you can see 1 and 2, and I really would like a third, so I'll plant the third one so it's right there. So it's 1, 2, 3 of them, and they'll be spaced out a little bit further than I would like. I had a third one and it was right here, but I don't think it'll be able to grow if we're being completely honest. I think there's gonna be too much shade right here now for it, so I'm thinking if I plant it there, it'll at least get some afternoon sun and should be able to shoot up some branches and be able to grow quite happily. And I love birch trees. I think they're so beautiful. we're not supposed to be able to grow them, but if I grow the European white birch, we can grow them. They just need an excessive amount of water. They need like a ridiculous amount. And for me, it's worth it. I just think they're so pretty to be able to grow a birch tree. I don't know. Very magical, very cottagey. Let's go get some work done. And I'm sure somebody's thinking, Robbie, why are you not working on the stone work that needs to happen on the front of the greenhouse? I don't want to. I don't want to do it. It's so slow going, and it's just miserable to do it. I feel like I would have rather poured the foundation. And that looks a lot tidier now. So pleased to have those blooms gone. In every other year, I've just let it bloom because the bees tend to really love it. But I figured this year there might be enough flowers for them to go without the blooms on this. This Dusty Miller was one that I bought, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago at this point. It was a little 6-pack, and it's just wintered over for me every single year. Usually it dies back and I cut it pretty much more than halfway down, and then it refreshes for me, and it's so pretty. I love it. Brent doesn't love this color in the garden. I like it. I don't even care. And then my rose is cut back. And what's really funny is I noticed lots of little bird droppings, so they must be using this as a little landing point. They sit right here. Also, look at the bloom on this. This one is Soul Sister. Isn't that so stunning? Such a beautiful rose. Anyways, I think that they're using this as a landing post because the bird feeder is directly behind me. So let's go ahead and take out the birch tree. You can see there's the bird feeder directly behind where the rose is. Let's go ahead and pull out this birch tree. I'm hoping it doesn't disrupt this guy too much. If it does, at the end of the day, I'm not even that worried about it. I think the birch trees here have been kind of a fail. While they're really pretty, I think it was a fail right here. I love birch trees. It just wasn't it. So let's go ahead and take out the dead one, and then we'll leave this alive one, I guess. While I would love to take both of these trees out right now, and I would love to put in a dogwood tree right now, it's just not gonna happen because of how much growth I have. Do you hear the hummingbirds? Oh, they're so aggressive. Because of how much growth I have in here, it would just end up disrupting all of those plants. So I'll have to wait till this fall, which is really not the end of the world anyways, but it would be nice to have it in now. It is what it is. So one way to make sure that your trees are actually dead is to do the scratch test. So see how there's like barely any green there? And then see this, how it's all brown in there? That's a dying tree. If I do it at the bottom, you can see how that's nice and green. That's very much alive down here. but that's not what we're going for. We're not going for a half-dead tree. Plus, the obvious tell is that all of the leaves on it are crispy, while the other one is very much alive. So it is what it is, whatever. I think what I'm gonna actually end up doing to kind of recycle this tree is I'm gonna cut it down and I'm gonna put this in the aviary. This will be perfect for the little finch. This will be perfect for them to like land on. This will be a really good tree to be able to reuse that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the roots, and then I think I need to cut it down just a little bit, but this will be perfect for those guys. That looks so much cleaner. I got the weeds out of that bed, which feel nice. I've got a little bit of Bermuda grass that I still need to pull. Is that attached? No, I pulled that piece. There's some right there. I gotta get the shovel for those guys though. Anyways, they're cut back a little more than half. And what they do is they're sending out a new flush. So these guys will bloom again. They'll do all their foliar growth. They'll actually be a bit more like stronger of stems, so they shouldn't flop nearly as much. And these guys will also branch out a little bit. You can see some growth happening, some side shoots. So these should branch out. And so it should be a really nice full. The second bloom, for me at least, is usually better than the first bloom on these guys. And so I cut back the pink potion ones. I didn't cut back the white ones. They're not as far along. So I've got, I think, 2 or 3 of the white wands, Veronica right there. And they're still really, I mean, they're right at the very tip. So I'm gonna give them another like 4 or 5 days, and then I'll cut those guys back also. So I think now it's just gonna be a waiting game until these guys get here for the greenhouse. So I'll see you whenever they get here. Okay, the guys just showed up. They're here with the greenhouse. They're around the corner. They have to back up the semi truck to get it here and get it into here. And honestly, I'm not 100% certain how this is gonna work. So we will see. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. They got it. One box was a struggle because it's a really, really large box. And they said it's the heaviest of all the boxes. Two guys, I don't know how they did it. That was crazy. But they got it. And the boxes are inside the property. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you guys. This is huge. So these guys were struggling because it's all just like dirt right here. And they had to use a pallet jack, and pallet jacks and dirt don't mix at all. So this box, that box, and this box. And I'm so excited. This one weighs 432 pounds is what it says. Whew, that's a heavy box. This one's the heaviest. This must be all of the glass. This one weighs 628 pounds. And then this box, which is like the biggest one, I don't know, can you guys tell? It's really large. It's tall, but it's skinny. I don't know. They're all really, really large. This one weighs 120 pounds. I just can't believe they got all of these in. They did such a good job. Honestly, I didn't think that they were going to be able to do it. Okay, I got our semi-temporary fence back up. So that way the dogs don't just start wandering down the alleyway. The fence is a little bit floppy. It's fine. The dogs don't go over here anyways, really. So I think that's going to be it for this video. I guess the next step is finishing the bricks so I can unbox those and start building the greenhouse. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. We got a lot done in the garden and the greenhouse is officially here. So exciting. Thanks for visiting our garden. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.